Oliver stood frozen in the cramped quarters of the diplomatic shuttle, staring down at the 3-foot-tall figure before him. Commander Eva of the Zelenari Imperial Fleet crossed her 4 arms over her chest, her iridescent purple skin shimmering under the artificial lights. Her large, luminous eyes, each the size of a human fist, blinked at him with what he could only interpret as indignation. "I don't understand," Oliver managed, running a hand through his dark hair. "What do you mean, your wife?" Ava's translator chip crackled as she spoke, her actual voice a melodic series of chimes and whistles. "The contract was signed 3 cycles ago. Human Oliver Chun. Article 7. Subsection 12 of the Alliance Integration. Protocol clearly states that diplomatic liaisons of compatible species must enter into bonding ceremonies to strengthen cultural ties. I signed a diplomatic agreement." Oliver protested, pulling up his datapad with trembling fingers. "Not a marriage license. Your species makes such arbitrary distinctions," Eva said, her antennae drooping slightly, a sign of disappointment Oliver had learned to recognize during their 6 months of joint operations. "Among my people, all bonds are sacred. Professional, personal, romantic, they exist on a spectrum, not in separate boxes." Oliver scrolled frantically through the document he'd signed when he volunteered for the Human Zelenary Exchange Program. There, buried in the translated legalese, was the clause. His translator had rendered life bond partnership as professional partnership, a simple linguistic error that had apparently married him to an alien commander who barely reached his waist. "Eva, listen," he began. "Commander Eva," she corrected, her posture straightening. Despite her diminutive size, she radiated authority that had cowed species twice her height. The Zelenari might have been small, but they were the most brilliant military strategists in the known galaxy. It was why humanity had been so eager to ally with them against the encroaching devourers. "Commander Eva," Oliver amended, kneeling down to meet her eye level. "I respect you immensely. Your tactical genius saved my entire crew at the Battle of Proxima Drift. But marriage it's sacred to humans, too. It requires love, mutual affection. And you believe we lack this?" Ava's skin flickered from purple to a deep crimson anger, or perhaps hurt. "Have I not fought beside you? Have I not shared my rations when your supply lines were severed? Have I not learned your customs, your language, your terrible human jokes that make no logical sense?" Oliver felt a pang of guilt. She had done all those things. When the rest of her crew had maintained professional distance, Eva had been curious, engaged, even warm in her alien way. She'd asked about Earth, about his family, about the strange human need for something called coffee every morning. "Why do you flinch from me now?" Eva asked, her voice softer, more vulnerable through the translator. "Is it my size? My appearance? I have studied human biology. I know you find us unpleasing." "No," Oliver said quickly, surprised by his own vehemence. "That's not it at all. Eva, you're extraordinary. But this isn't how humans do things. We date, we get to know each other romantically, we choose, Eva interrupted, her skin shifting to a contemplative blue. "Your species believes love is a choice. Mine knows it is a recognition. The moment I saw you lead your crew through the nebula gauntlet, refusing to leave even your wounded behind, I recognized you. Your honor, your courage, your stubborn human refusal to accept the logical course of action when it means abandoning others." She stepped closer, and Oliver found himself unable to move. One of her small, 3-fingered hands reached out, hovering near his knee. "Touch me," she said, and for the first time since he'd known her, Commander Ava's voice wavered with uncertainty. "In my culture, the bonded may not touch until the bond is acknowledged by both parties. For 3 cycles, I have commanded beside you, fought beside you, existed in your space without the comfort of contact. Touch me, Oliver Chun. I am already your wife. I only await your recognition. Oliver's breath caught. He thought of the battles they'd survived, the late-night strategy sessions where Eva had patiently explained Zelenari philosophy to him, the way her antennae perked up whenever he entered the command deck. He thought of how empty the shuttle had felt the 1 week she'd been reassigned to another vessel. Slowly, carefully, he extended his hand. His fingers brushed against her shoulder, and Ava's skin erupted in a cascade of colors: gold, silver, pink, colors that probably didn't have names in any human language. She made a sound, unfiltered by the translator. It resonated in his chest like a purr and a song combined. Your touch is... Ava's eyes shimmered with moisture. It is as I dreamed. Oliver found himself smiling. I don't know how to be married to an alien. Commander who's 3 feet tall and can calculate hyperspace. Jumps in her head. And I do not know how to be bonded to a human who requires 8 hours of unconsciousness daily and thinks. Winging it is a viable tactical approach, Eva replied. But her skin glowed warm amber contentment. He'd learned. Perhaps we learn together. One condition, Oliver said, his hand still resting on her shoulder, marveling at the warmth of her. You have to tell me what bonding actually entails in Zelenari culture. Because if there's any more fine print, I'd like to know now. Ava's laugh came through the translator as crystalline chimes. The Zelenari bonding ceremony requires a sharing of life paths, the intertwining of destinies, and approximately 17 hours of ceremonial dancing. 17 hours? I can demonstrate the first steps, Eva offered, her antennae dancing with mischief. Though I should warn you, humans are notoriously clumsy by our standards. As Commander Eva began to show him the intricate footwork of a Zelenari bonding dance, Oliver realized that perhaps marriage, whether human or alien, chosen or recognized, wasn't about perfect understanding. It was about the willingness to learn, to adapt, to reach across the vast gulfs between species and souls, to touch another being and say, I see you. I choose to see you. Every day, even if that being was a miniature purple military genius, who could kill him in 12 different ways, and had apparently been his wife for 3 months without him knowing it. You're smiling, Eva observed, pausing mid-step. I'm married to an alien commander, Oliver said, still somewhat dazed by the realization. It's either smile or have an existential crisis. Humanity, fuck yeah? Eva offered, using the phrase she'd heard human soldiers exclaim in moments of chaos and triumph. Though clearly uncertain of its meaning, Oliver laughed. A real laugh, perhaps the first since the war began. Yeah, Commander. Humanity, fuck yeah. And in the small space of that diplomatic shuttle, between the stars, 2 beings from worlds apart began the first steps of their dance together, awkward, uncertain, but undeniably their own. The end.